settle back for something very special, the return to the Grand Prix, to the big time of the double Olympic champion, Sebastian Coe, who'll be 33 next month. As clouds scutter across the moon and the storms keep away from Zurich, we thought that we might get something rather heavy. The weather forecasters were making some ominous noises, but it stayed fine, happily. And conditions for athletics, well, they couldn't really be any better, could they, Tim? It's look at the flags on the poles on the far side there, not even fluttering.
No, that's right, it's perfect in. It's cooled down a bit actually too in the last hour or so. It was getting a bit too hot earlier on in the evening, very humid, and it's cooled down now. These athletes will be looking for a fast time tonight. They've got 3 good pacemakers, so we've been told. Hugo, who I've seen do a good job earlier on the circuit this summer, Canadian, Ray Brown, and the ever-present James Mays. So when there's 3 pacemakers, they set off in the race with the 3 pacemakers in front. They drop out one after the other as they take a different stage of the race. And you can be sure that the athletes in this race want something special.
I wonder what sort of shape Coe's in. We saw him win the English National Championship at the weekend against all odds because he was nearly felled and lost 20 metres at the bell.
That's right. Seb, his participation in this race was in doubt, in fact, earlier on in the week because he looked like he'd injured himself during the British Championships. But what happened was he stumbled before the bell. He reached the bell with 1 lap to go and, in fact, ran a last lap of 51. So he is in superb shape. He's run a couple of very useful 800s this year. This is his first big 1500, if you like, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes up against these other guys.
Coe is the 4th fastest of all time, one of the few men to run under 3 minutes 30 for this distance. It would be amazing if he was in the kind of shape to do something like that, but he's a man who's amazed us all through his career. The only man ever to retain the Olympic title. Sotomayor stands by for his high jump at 2 metres and 38 in the background. We have 2 pacemakers in this 1500 metres. That is Ray Brown, who's gone off in front, with Simon Hugoworth, who's going to take it up, we understand later, the Canadian, and Coe in 3rd place early on.
I hope the pacemakers don't go too fast. That's what's been spoiling so many races this year. The pacemakers go off ahead, they get a big gap in the rest of the field, they don't look round, they don't take care of what's going on behind them, and they're no help at all to the rest of the field. And there you can see Coe went into 3rd place. He decided he wasn't going to lead the rest of the pack round. Why should he? And in fact, that's Yobes Ondieki there in red, number 289, Kenyan, has taken up the lead.
Is Sotomayor's high jump attempt, and it's a failure at 2:38. So maybe he should have tried 2:36. All tactics. Back to the 1500 metres. Cheruiyot's gone 3rd, and Coe's dropped back to 5th. The 2 pacemakers up front, Ray Brown, Simon Hugoworth. Ondieki, I should say, in 3rd place, the Kenyan. Also in this race is Peter Rono, the Olympic champion. Brown in front, Hugoworth 2nd, 3rd Ondieki, and it'll be fascinating to see if Coe can get onto his shoulder in the last lap. Number 190 there, Peter Rono making his forward move, and Coe back in the middle of the field at the moment.
I'm looking forward to seeing Ondieki there in red shorts in 3rd place now. You're looking at him now in 3rd place. I'm looking forward to him making a move. He's a front runner, he's a 5,000 metre runner, basically. He's been almost breaking the world record in 5,000 this year. He's up with the pacemakers now, and he'll want to push it very hard from this stage. They've got 800 metres to go.
1:42 it looked like, with 2 to go. Brown still has it from Hugoworth. Ondieki is in 3rd place. Kirochi is 4th. Cheruiyot is 5th. Coe at the moment back in about 8th place, right behind Peter Rono. Gennaro Di Napoli towards the back of the field. We expect a forward move from him. He's one of the quickest in the world this year, but he's just beginning to lope up now. But Coe's taking his time in the middle, and he'll look to be producing that kick finish. But what are you making of Coe's performance so far as Hugoworth takes it up front there, just behind Ray Brown, who runs wide. 289 is Ondieki. 188 is Kip Cheruiyot. The 2 Kenyans running side by side. 185 towards the outside, that's Marcus O'Sullivan. And number 189, Wilfred Kirochi, as they gather themselves now for the bell. Coe still back in about 7th place, along with Thiebaut and Di Napoli. Hugoworth runs wide.
Coe waiting for the kick here. He's well positioned. He's got 5 or 6 men in front of him, but they're all so close you could throw a blanket over them. Kenyon's there, a bit of a barrier in front of him. And Coe getting involved, some pushing there with O'Sullivan in front of him. But can he use his speed over this last half lap? Those Kenyons dominating the front of the race. Look at that, 4 of them out in front.
Cheruiyot out in front. Kirochi is there in second place. Rono, and here comes Coe with his run. Oh, that Rolls-Royce turn of speed from Coe suddenly took him from about 8th to 3rd, and now he's on the shoulders of Cheruiyot and number 189, Kirochi there. Coe takes a look round, and he'll look to burst past these Kenyans down the straight, but has he got the speed? Cheruiyot kicks for home. Coe is coming with a run towards the outside, but he can't find the overdrive this time, or can he? As Kirochi hits the front now, Kirochi wins it. Coe is second, Cheruiyot is third, Rono back in 4th place, Thiebaut was 5th, Di Napoli was 6th. Well, it all looked on for Coe when he made his forward move. 3:33.86. That's the fastest we'll have seen from Seb Coe, certainly for a couple of years, but he couldn't quite find the finish to deal with the teenager, Wilfred Kirochi.
Seb left himself a lot to do there. He put in a burst with 200 to go, came up into the shoulder of the leaders, and here he looks quite confident. He thinks he's got a good kick in him. But that boy 189 in the blue shorts there, Wilfred Kirochi, won the World Junior Championships last year with a last lap of 51. He is a hell of a fast runner, and if Seb knew that, if he'd done his homework a bit more, maybe he'd have gone a bit earlier. Maybe he'd have been in front of Kirochi at this stage. But you can see Kirochi himself change gear. Doesn't get away from Seb, but at the same time Seb can't eat into his lead, and that yard, that metre stays the same. It's a vital gap, and Seb just can't close it.
Kirochi, who was 10 years old when Coe won his first Olympic gold medal in 1980, and the generations beginning to be bridged, as it were, in athletics. But that's a very good run from Coe. Excellent run from him. He's been picked for Britain for the World Cup in September, and maybe there's more to come off that. His time must have been around 3:34.
That's right, his last lap was 54.5, which is great running from Seb, but he left himself a bit too much to do. He was trying to do all the work in the last 200, 250 metres. Kirochi was better positioned, he was nearer the front. You can see Seb straining here. He always strains hard, he works hard in the last 100, but it's a shame he couldn't get past both those Kenyans.